Hi, on the Woodpecker today. I'm turning a wooden plate so I can clean my saw blade. As far as I can remember, I have cleaned my saw blades inside old saw blade packaging. And as far as I can remember, I said to myself, I should do something about this. So when I looked down at my scrap pile of wood on the floor, I told myself, this would be the perfect wood to make a saw blade cleaning plate. So I begin by gluing scrap pieces of maple and elm together. After cleaning the glue drips all around the glue up, I leave that alone for all day before finding the center of the plate. Then I use the same compass I used to use when I was in college to draw a circle. Next, I cut the excess wood. Okay, now I want to turn that round, but I can't use my bolt chuck because it's too long for the size of the plank. So I screw a faceplate in the center, directly to the front of the plate. Next, I can screw that to the lathe and make a true circle out of it. When it's totally round, I check with a ruler if it's still too big to fit onto the chuck. And since it still is, I remove some more wood. Now it's perfect. I can make the bottom of the plate straight. When I'm done, I mark the chuck mortise's size and cut it. Before sanding the bottom of the plate, I check if my mortise fits the chuck. Since it's perfect, I can sand the bottom up to 400 grit. Then I can remove the faceplate, install the chuck on the lathe, and then the plate. Now I can make the front of the plate straight. With a compass, I find the size of the saw blade, mark the interior of the plate, and remove some wood. If I take a saw blade and check it, I can clearly see that if the bottom of the plate is straight, the teeth will be hard to clean. I need to raise the blade. To achieve this, I have to remove more wood, but only around the edge of the plate. I leave the center as is. I need to check if it's okay. It's perfect. I just need to go back to the lathe and round over the sharp corners. Then I can finish sanding the plate. I need to carve a little channel onto the side of the plate to be able to put back the cleaning solution into the bottle. When it's done, I need to apply some sort of finish on this plate. But since I intend to use chemicals inside, I'll put 2 coats of epoxy on it. So after mixing 3 batches, I brush the bottom of the plate. Then the sides. And finish with the interior. The next day when the epoxy is dry, I brush a second coat. Several days later, I can finally try my new plate. It's nice having more cleaner around the saw teeth and making less mess when I brush the teeth. But when I try to put back the cleaner inside the bottle, I realize that it's not better than the blade packaging. So from now on, I'll use a funnel. It will save me a lot of cleaner. I love turning this plate so much that I'm wondering if René would like to have wooden plates instead. But for now, I'll stick to cleaning my saw blades. If you like what I did with my scraps from the floor, you'll probably like what other YouTube woodworkers did with their own scrap wood from their floors. I'll leave a list of other woodworker scraps projects in my description. And don't forget to come back Friday for another exciting new lathe project on the Woodpecker.